So this is the Fractal Design Define S, and it's about 2 years old, so I'm officially 2 years late since this case just launched. But since I was rebuilding my entire CPU and GPU loop, I was wondering, you know what, let's have a look. Now, prior to this particular case, I've used several cases. I've used the Air 740 for maximum airflow. I've even used the Masterbox 5. I've even used the Obsidian 750D. And to a certain extent, I've even used some Segotap cases as well. But you know what? Every single case out there today in the market has its pros and cons, and it has a certain amount of modularity, its water cooling friendliness, its airflow and stuff like that. But somehow I felt that this Fractal Design Define S, or let's just call it Define S, somehow hits the sweet spot. Moving on to the front panel of the case, you actually get about 360mm clearance for radiators or even all-in-one coolings. Now the front panel can actually fit up to a 360mm radiator, or you can actually put 3 120 fans. Now I would think that 2 140 fans would actually be possible, but in this specific case, since I'm using a 240mm radiator, I sort of put in 2 Varda fans instead. But there's one issue though, since my reservoir is sort of placed vertically inside the case, I don't actually have quite enough space for the fan to be inside of the case, hence why the filter on the front sort of became quite redundant. Now I would think a lower profile radiator would sort of work better in this case, but the XSPC radiator doesn't. But as an option, you could possibly run a push-pull configuration, granted that your radiator is sort of thin or thinner than my current radiator, or you're using an AIO, because I think the clearance is much more. The power and reset switches are fairly basic with a really nice blue LED that surrounds the power button. So you don't get too sophisticated stuff while retaining the whole minimalist look. You get 2 USB ports, of course, 3.0, with the necessary audio jacks are pretty much out of the box. Now the top of the case fits up to a 420mm radiator, provided that your radiator is 55mm in thickness, and it does actually come with this whole multi-vent panels, which sort of provides some additional sound dampening features. However, if you remove the panels, there isn't a dust filter. On the left of the case, you get a decent window, and here's the cool part about the Define S. You don't actually see any bays on the front as they are mounted on the rear, so you get a whole new clean look of your case and all the pretty stuff in front while you hide all the mess behind. Now here's one more thing, the side panel of the Define S is actually ventilated, so you do actually get some additional cooling support. Now moving on to the rear of the case, you get 7 PCIe expansion slots, and I was just hoping that the case would actually come with black PCIe covers instead. Somehow the white covers just doesn't seem to work. The right side of the panel does actually come with some sort of foam, which is great because that definitely helps a little when it comes to sound dampening. But this really isn't what I want to highlight. You get ample room to hide your cables, and obviously you gotta excuse my awful cable management. And you also get 3 hard drive bays and 2 SSD drive slots, which is typically more than enough. Now the Define S officially fits up to an ATX motherboard given its whole form factor, but still somehow managed to retain its compact look. Now given the fact that all drives and SSDs are stored in the rear, it sort of makes the case look like an MATX case, but with still plenty of room to play with, and its whole modularity and the fact that you can actually put a reservoir in there, it makes the whole case water cooling friendly. Now 2 140mm fans are also bundled in the case just in case if you're running out of fans, but I would think that most users out there will sort of have their own fans already. I've not actually tested the fans, but they do actually look pretty decent for a fan that actually comes out of the box. Now on the rear inside of the case, you can actually fit up to 140mm fans for exhaust. Fractal design also included 2 additional reservoir brackets for all you water cooling enthusiasts, so you don't actually have to use your stock water cooling brackets. You can actually use the one that bundles with the case because it sort of fits much better and it does actually look much cleaner. Now I would actually think that the non-window version of the case would actually sound much more, I would say, quiet, simply because you don't actually get any windows, so there's no acrylic panel on the side. You do actually get nice solid metal with foam, with padded foam, so that sort of dampens a whole lot more of noise, but at the expense of you can't actually see what's going on inside your PC, so you gotta pick your options wisely. Now the Fractal Design Define S retails at about 300 and I would say 380 ringgit onwards, 379 or 380 ringgit onwards, and you can obviously get them at eTech PC or any PC shops of your preference. Now, Here's the thing though, if you've actually used this case or if you're actually using this case, let me know what you think about the case, and if you have any pictures to share, feel free to do so in the comment section below. I'm going to leave some links where you can purchase them as well in the description box, so you can actually either purchase them or check them out or read more facts about it. And you know what guys, as usual, give me a big thumbs up if you like this video, and of course hit the subscribe button if you have not. Any other questions, comments or anything else, drop them in the comment section below. We're more than happy to answer them. And as usual guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.